Good morning, everyone.
I take it
Morning.
we're recording. I didn't hear the little ding.
Yeah, we're recording. I see it up in the left corner.
Fantastic. Good morning.
Good morning, Sean. Good morning, Randall. Good morning, everybody.
We have a special guest host today. One of our regular participants is here to chat with us about something that's really going to be useful for all of us. And I don't know, do we need to do a big introduction, or does everybody know you, Randall? We know you're the workout king in the mornings when we're usually here, usually working out. You do an awful lot of business, of course. You're out of the Carlsbad office. And
That's right.
I don't know, Steve, do we just want to jump into it, or do you have accolades you want to shower over Randall?
No, only that, the time I've known Randall just from a remote perspective, he's always been a great contributor here, always willing to share, his background, serving the country in the Marines, I think, says a lot about, I think anybody who serves the country, they tend to, in my experience, have bigger minds or higher values, what they believe in something bigger than themselves. And so they serve, right? And so I think in that spirit, Randall, we're really glad to have you here. We're grateful for your service to the country and your service here, and always piping up when you see appropriate to share. And the floor is yours, I think. Right, Sean? No other.
Right.
Yeah.
Share where you're going to take us today.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having me on, guys. And thank you again for doing this every week. I always find value and take something out of it from your years and years of experience. So I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So what I'm going to talk about today, now that all my technical issues are all fixed up here, how I've used the tools of social media to grow my business and try and stay top of mind. And that's really the name of the game today, right? Like is staying top of mind with your sphere of influence. So I'm going to talk about the theme in which I do that, the consistency and when I do that, and the value that I provide. So Sean, you always say something about how most realtors market. So what was it? It's like, hey, look at me, I sold a home. Look, I did it again, something like that.
Right. Look what I did, and I did it again. You should hire me.
Yeah.
Way too many me's.
Yeah. So I challenge all of you, once we're done today, to go on any realtor's Instagram or page or whatever and just look at how they market. And what you'll find is that it's about real estate all the time, every day, 3 times a day. Like it's out of control. So the theme behind how I think real estate agents should brand themselves is the theme of people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it.
Amen.
So think about your personal brand and what that brand is. So if you have a notepad or something, write down like who you are, not anything to do with like what you do. And when you write those things down, those are your buckets to post and brand in. So when I look at myself, I'm a father, I'm a husband. I served 20 years in the Marine Corps, so, Marine veteran. I went to do my business degree at USC. So here in SoCal, USC is a prominent placeholder here. SoCal native, surfer, and by the way, I also sell real estate. So when you post in that way, you identify with a lot more people. And that's how I've kind of done it.
I love that. Just that last thing you said is, it just hit me. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but we're talking about real estate all the time, which impacts, 7% of the population at any one time. When you're posting in those other buckets, of course, you're aligning with a lot more people. That's exactly the view. That's phenomenal.
So let's talk about the consistency piece. So I'm very consistent with it, like I am with like working out or anything else that I do. I try and be as consistent as possible so that I know, like you guys are always talking about, I know where to make adjustments and I know what things are being successful and what's not. So I took the individual brands and I put them into buckets. And what I did is like, so Sunday is like my family day where I post about family stuff. And the reason I chose Sunday is because when I did my research, I found that a lot of people are online or on their social media on Sunday. So they're going to see that. I'm going to get a larger capture rate. Monday, I post about veteran topics. Wednesday, I post about real estate. And the reason I chose Wednesday is because Wednesday I found was the second most visible day that most people see. And then on Fridays, I post like SoCal vibe stuff. So whether I go, I'll do a reel on Instagram at Board and Brew of me eating like a Board and Brew sandwich, or I post about like, I have this photographer that takes these really cool, really rad surf photos of like Encinitas and Carlsbad. And I post like an Aloha Friday, like, hey, hope you had a good week, have a good weekend type thing. The response I've gotten from specifically the Aloha Friday has been great. One day I didn't post it first thing in the morning or whatever. And some guy messaged me who I haven't talked to in a few months. He messaged me like a private message, like, hey dude, are you going to do the Aloha Friday thing or what? And I was like totally blown away by that. Like, so a lot more people are paying attention than you think. So that's the consistency. The last thing I'd like to talk about is the value. You know, people get to see a lot more of who I am through my social media, vice just what I do. So my marketing and branding plan for all of this is more of a subtle approach. So this is all in addition to the things that Steve and Sean are always talking about with, you know, nurturing your CRM. I send out 3 emails a month to my sphere, local events, market updates, and then I made like a business news where I send that out as well. And I'll track those open rates. And I'll do customer discovery. I'll follow up with my sphere. Hey, what do you think about what I sent out? Did you even see it? Is it too much? The feedback I've gotten is most of the women that I send it to love the local events and things like that. Whereas a lot of the guys that I sent, that I've talked to, they really love the market update and the business news. I still follow up with all of my clients on key dates, anniversaries, birthdays, things like that. And then I still do quarterly client appreciation events. So we did the Padres this year twice, and that was phenomenal through Compass. So that's kind of my my plan. So I'd like to kind of, instead of just telling you, I'd like to show you. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and show you how I do like my Instagram. I don't have permissions to share the screen.
It won't let you share it.
Let's see if we can get him permission somehow. Let's see, Randall.
Steve, you need to make him a host, a co-host.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure. I'm in the settings. Let's see.
Well, you're taking care of that. A couple questions, Randall, and they may be answered in what you're going into next. But how do you choose your social media platform? Are you only Instagram? Are you TikTok, Facebook? How do you decide?
I pretty much do them all except for TikTok. I haven't taken that plunge yet. I'm 39 years old. TikTok, I think, may have passed me by. But I do Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And obviously, there's certain things that I don't post on LinkedIn. I try and keep that platform like strictly like a business type platform. So I don't post like family stuff normally on that medium.
And Facebook and Instagram get duplicated. I mean, they both take your content, right?
Yes. And some stuff translates between the two. So some stuff I can post on Instagram that will automatically feed into my Facebook as well.
Fantastic. So
I can't see where to get him permissions. Do you know, Sean, where this is? I'm searching all over. I can't seem to find
Melanie,
it.
do you know how to do that? I have no idea. Sorry. I'm the motivational speech guy, Steve, not the technology guy. Come on.
I'm on my phone, so I don't have the same view that you guys do on your computer, but you should be able to go on the bottom of those three dots there and say add co-host. You know what? I can grab my
What I can do is I'll post an Instagram link in here so you can pull it up in a different screen.
We have you. Wendy actually put your Instagram up already.
Oh, awesome.
At Randall_Sells_San Diego, one word. Hopefully all of you are seeing that in the notes.
So when you pull that up, the link's there in the chat. When you pull that up, you'll see my buckets. You'll see the different buckets in which I post in. I've got some Compass Concierge stuff right away when you get on there from a recent one that we've just done. I've got some USC stuff, family stuff, surf stuff, and then it just kind of repeats. Veteran stuff, and I'm trying to appeal to my audience. And for me, the veteran community is massive because I have a 20-year network. All the guys that I kind of came up with, people that were my commanders like 10 years ago are generals now. So it's really important to post within your sphere to capture those people. And like Sean and Steve always say, it's not about trying to capture those people, it's about the people that they know.
Right.
So just to kind of give you an idea of like what's in it for me, right? Like what am I going to gain from this? I've been very consistent with this over the last year. And it's kind of all started coming together like now. So it's taken a year to really take hold. Like what do they say? You have to hit someone 33 times to be top of mind.
Right.
So, obviously not everyone sees every single post. So it takes a long time. But right now, between my wife and I, we have 6 listings, some in various different stages of that of the transaction.
Randall, you're set up as a co-host, by the way, now.
Okay, cool.
I found it, Steve. I stumbled upon it. Some comments in here while you're coming up, Randall. Melanie made a great point. She's so happy to hear that you actually follow up on the things you're sending. A lot of us send things out and we have no idea if the customers are receiving it, liking it. So that follow-up, that unpressured follow-up makes a big difference. Gerald wanted to know do you maintain a business page and a personal page, or are they just one? Carl asked the same question, actually.
So for my Instagram, it's purely just business related. Facebook, I have a Facebook business page. I don't really post on that much. It's mostly like the personal stuff. But because I post in the way that I do, I can get away with it. Right. My first broker when I worked at Remax, this dude posted about real estate like 3 times a day. He would tag people in everything, and it was exhausting. Like I had to like unfollow him because I couldn't handle it. And I worked in, I was working in real estate. So imagine, his sphere of like pulling their hair out every time they get on social media. So that's obviously definitely not what you want.
That's that key phrase. It's relevant expertise. Are you showing a level of expertise in something that's relevant to the people following you, and not just real estate? Were you able to share, or is it still not working?
Yeah, it's still not working, but that's okay. You'll be able to see it when you log in as an example, to see kind of what I'm talking about and how it's been effective. It's really been effective in my referral business. Like I said, I have a massive sphere of people I've served with are in North Carolina, Virginia, Florida, Texas, all over the place. I have 10 referrals out right now, like waiting to be closed. So that's been massive too, in the way that I've marketed myself on social media.
I have another question for you. Do you do these posts that are going out, what was it, 4 times a week basically is your regular cadence? Are you doing it day of, or are you preloading things? Are you sitting at the beginning of the month getting everything ready? How do you prepare yourself in these posts?
So I get up super early. I don't know if it's just because of my military background or not, but I can't sleep in past like 5:30. So I'm usually up at 5. I get up, I have my daily battle rhythm that I do, but I do post these things first thing in the morning, and I normally don't plan them out. I may see something or may take a note here and there, but I don't really plan it out. I don't have like I don't populate the content calendar a month in advance, because I want it to be as authentic as possible. And I want it to be like straight from me in the moment, first thing in the morning. So that's how I kind of do it.
So you don't have a social media pre-populated calendar. You just have the calendar of theme. This is what's going out on this day, this type of theme.
Yeah, I just have the theme set up, and then it goes out. Really, the only thing that's kind of set in stone is my Aloha Friday posts. I'll go on the photographer's like Instagram the morning of. His name's Colin LeBold. He is awesome. He takes great photos. He does some great lifestyle photos too. So he does our lifestyle photos as well. And I just find something that's cool, and I'll just talk about surf stuff. Again, not about real estate. And I try not to post more than twice a day, if that makes sense.
And is there permission set up with this photographer? How do you use his photos?
I just asked him. I was like, hey dude, like, do you mind if I like take your photos and post them every Friday? I explained to him kind of the concept of what I was trying to do, and it's free advertisement to his business. So he's pumped about it. And that's another thing that I do on sometimes on Fridays when again, that bucket is the SoCal vibe bucket, right? So I'll go to like places like Board and Brew. I'm like, hey, can I tag you guys? I'm going to make a reel. I'm going to promote your business. And they love that. Degree 33 is a surfboard company here in Carlsbad. I promote their stuff all the time. So trying to capture some of that business to business.
Yeah. Business to business, something we're talking about a lot. There's a lot of opportunity there that I don't know that we're taking advantage of. Where we're just literally helping each other, exactly what you're doing.
And the thing that's funny that you'll find once you start doing it is you'll start seeing other people's stuff, and you can tell which real estate agents outsource their social media. Like it's the same thing over and over again, the same like picture perfect photos and things like that. So I see it, I'm like, you hired some 21-year-old to do that.
So that's a good point. Your stuff is authentic, not perfect. You want it to show. If there's imperfections, you want them to show because people will know it's you. Yes,
absolutely. That the more authentic, the more raw, the better. Obviously, when I post some stuff about like an upcoming listing, like I'll use a professional videographer, and when I introduce a home or something like that, I want that stuff to look super professional. But a lot of the other stuff, I just want it to be just real. And I think people really appreciate that.
Randall, go ahead, Sean.
No, Steve.
I was scanning through your Instagram page. One of the things I noticed is that whenever you post anything military, your engagement is really, really high. So I'm curious, as a percentage of your business, do you do a disproportionate amount, or do you serve your client base? Are they disproportionate military, or can you give us some insight? Because I think that would help understand like the effectiveness of like what your most effective posts are in connecting with your audience, right? Like, so I'm curious, can you give us some makeup of your database, like what the percentages would be if you had to take a guess?
I would say the overwhelming majority of my business are veterans.
Wow.
So that's probably why those posts get the most engagement. And then I would say second to that would be like the family stuff. Like people love the family stuff, or they engage the most with it.
Right.
And then the Aloha Friday stuff, that's like where people are watching. And I've had like a couple people reach out to me like, "Hey man, like where's the picture of the sunset? Like I need that in my life."
Right. That's good insight. Is there a post? Is there a particular post that you find when you're looking at not only what you're doing, but when you look at other brokers that you think is the most effective? I mean, I guess if you had to pick a post, which do you think what is the most effective post one can make? And then what do you see going on in social media as activity that you think is not as effective in promoting engagement with your client?
So the things that I would steer away from 100% is all the political stuff. Like it's all, regardless of what side of the aisle you're on, it's all vile, and stay away from anything negative. As far as like the most engagement or the most like effective is like big events in your life, like your personal life. Like when I retired from the military, that I mean, hundreds and hundreds of comments. Anniversaries, my kids' birthdays, like those like personal things get the most engagement out of anything. From not just your sphere, but past clients. So that's what I have found to be the most effective. And then, yeah, definitely, I try very hard not to post anything political or anything controversial or divisive at all.
Great advice. Like Liz said,
Not the place for it.
Liz had a good comment. Let people celebrate you. I love that.
Well, and what she said before, and what you're doing, Randall, people want to do business with people they like. And if you think about it, isn't that the business we want to do? I don't want to work with the client who I don't get along with, or we don't see eye to eye on things. Not that they're wrong or I'm wrong, but I'd rather spend all my time helping people who I enjoy being around. And the more you show who you are, the more you're going to necessarily attract people like you. Makes the business so much more fun.
Yeah, and be different, like put the positive vibes out there into the universe, like there's so much negativity going around. And then when everything they see from you is positive, uplifting, it's leadership. As a real estate agent, you're a leader. You're the one that has all the experience. You're the one that is guiding your client through the business. This is something I tell my military clients all the time, is being a real estate agent really wasn't that hard of a transition for me, because as a Marine, I was a first sergeant. And my job as a first sergeant is to advise my commander. The commander generally doesn't have as much experience as I do. I have all the experience, but they're the ones that get to make the decision. So I'll tell my military clients, and they love it. They're like, "Hey, look, you're the commander in this scenario, right? I'm not first sergeant anymore. I'm still kind of the first sergeant because I have all the experience, but you're the one that ultimately makes the decision." They especially the younger ranked ones, I think that's funny.
Really good analogy. Shane had a question. Can you put up your Facebook link? I want to see if there's differences there. While you're doing that, I had a question for you. How do you, when people do comment or respond in some way, how do you react to that? Is it you always go back and say something? Do you do something with likes or shares? What's your response to them?
I try my best to like keep up with the comments and things like that. I try to stay engaged, during the day. But I kind of do it in the morning. I kind of set it and forget it. Mm-hmm. But I do get on there periodically and re-engage. Anytime I get something negative, I either just delete it or I just don't engage with it at all.
Right.
And then they just go away.
Right. Don't feed the trolls.
Yeah, but most of the time I'm posting about positive things, so I don't normally get trolled.
That's good. Does anybody else have any questions for Randall? We're already almost through the 30 minutes. It's crazy. You can raise your hand or put it in the comments.
Yeah.
He's put up his Facebook link.
Come on, screen.
And I just put up my LinkedIn as well. LinkedIn, I didn't talk about LinkedIn too much. LinkedIn is a great tool. It's awesome for like networking with other agents at Compass. You can go through and filter it to where you like I wanted to look up and see all the Compass agents that are in San Francisco, where my feeder business is coming from, that are USC Trojans, and I can filter that all on LinkedIn. And I sent them all messages, and now we're all connected. So now they're part of my sphere capture on LinkedIn. And the way LinkedIn works is you go on there, if you like a post, your whole sphere sees that. Hey, Randall liked this post. So it spreads pretty quickly on social media.
This is fantastic stuff. Randall, so amazing that you came on and shared with everybody. Here we are again, right? Oh, my mind just went blank on our without collaboration.
Collaborate with that you go.
Yeah, jeez. But I mean, that's it. This is the most amazing company of agents I've ever been with. Everyone comes on and says, no, here's what I'm doing. Take what you can, make it yours, use it for yourself. There's so much business out there, so many people to help. And you're an example of that, Randall. We love having you here. Look at all the thank yous.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. And thank you for allowing me to spread the abundance mindset here with you guys this morning. Because there truly is enough business for all of us. No reason to keep all the secrets.
No.
That's awesome. Okay, a couple quick things for us. This week, for most of us, is our sales meeting. There's going to be a lot of great content in all of the offices. So to whatever degree possible, you guys, get in the office for your sales meeting. There's deals made in every sales meeting. When I talk to the sales manager, they talk about how the agents got together and realized, hey, I've got this private exclusive. Well, I've got a buyer that just started. You're networking, you're making deals, and you're getting that energy feed. So please make it to the sales meetings in your offices and get re-energized.
Right. Good point.
The last thing I have is make sure and check out, for those who weren't on in the beginning, Robert Refkin's email this morning. It's just got like 24 quotes from top agents he's been speaking with to help with clients in this market right now who have to change price, for instance, or buyers who are hesitant. You're going to find 3 or 4 of them at least that you say, oh, that's perfect. That's something I would say. Great resource. Anything else, Steve?
No, I just appreciate Randall coming on. It's one thing that's obvious in his Instagram page, and I haven't spent any time looking at the Facebook page, but he is very positive. He has a strong natural magnet, I think. When people have a natural smile, which I wish I had, I don't, but some people just have this health engendering quality to them, where you're around them and you feel good, or they bring you in. And I think most people in sales have that quality. So don't harness that, right? Let it out, be you. I think that's the thing here. When I look at his page, I'm going to take away is be authentic. I love the cadence of his page. When I look at the type of communication and how he breaks it up, I think it's almost spot on perfect. I don't know that I would even, he's not asking for help, but I don't think I'd change a thing. It's really awesome. Other than that, when he has his engagement with his clientele, things they relate to, maybe talking about stories of challenges, the perception that people have. Like I think a lot of realtors, when they think of particularly like on the loan side of things, almost exclusively the loan side of things, when they hear about the assistance that's afforded to veterans, that somehow that's a negative, that a VA loan is not as good as a conventional loan. And nothing could be further from the truth when you understand the mechanism by which those folks have to operate once basically a pre-qual is an approval in a VA loan. So it's really silly stuff, but I think it harkens back to a day where the seller was obligated to perform certain duties, and a lot of that has been modified. And so get educated on that. But yeah, I think that's an opportunity, Randall, to tell those stories, war stories about your business, to be really positive for you. I think really drive higher levels of engagement. And I think we should all get on and follow Randall to help boost, because one of the things we all should be doing on at least inside the huddle is following each other, because each time you follow someone, there are people that will actually start not snooping, but they will look to see who you're engaged with, and oh, that's someone I think I should be following too. We have a common interest. That person's a broker as well, and so I think what ends up happening is there's a psychology that you want everybody following you and you following no one. Nothing can be further from the truth. We're not, as much as I look like George Clooney, where he has disproportionate amount of followers, right? I'm not George Clooney, in case you haven't noticed. So, but yeah, no, follow people. So
why do you dispel? We all have this thing going with you with George Clooney, and then you ruin it.
Nice.
Listen, that's great advice.
Yeah.
We're over time, so go out, follow each other, practice what Randall, you nailed it. Abundance mindset.